Hi, I'm Wayne from Pam's Flower Garden, and I'm going to show you how to do an outside urn to decorate your home. What I'm using right here is in a container filled with different types of Christmas greens and dogwood for the height, and I'm adding kale. Kale is an interesting flower because it will last over the winter seasons, and it also looks like a beautiful rose. And if you take your flowers, just open them up. I just put them as a groupings. We find that groupings are an easier way to create the arrangement, and it gives you the focal point that you need. And then I do it exactly the same way on the opposite. And then I take my last kale. I'm going to use 4 in this particular design. And then I'm going to use some apples. Apples you can get right from your kitchen. And I just take a straw and I stick the straw up the apple just to give it so it can hold it. These apples can stay actually all winter, and then eventually after Christmas season, the squirrels and the birds can eat it as well. Again, as you notice, I'm using groupings of 3, and I like to put 3 green together, and I'm going to do the opposite side with 3 red to give the contrast of the color. And fruit is always a nice thing to use for Christmas because it's inexpensive as well, because you're getting it from your kitchen, but it gives you texture. Now I'm going to use these fun things that we have, which is called crotilla. It's just got a little bit of gold in it, copper in it, I should say. I want to catch the light because at Christmas time, it's the time of the light, time to catch the beauty of what Christmas is all about. And I just put these sparingly around just for color, to get in the color. I think it needs a little bit of a pine cone in there as well, copper one, just to give it a bit more texture. And I also have these nice pine cones that I just wired to give it a natural look of Christmas. And there's these bell pods ones. They look like a little bell shape. And I just put them in to give the texture. And I'll just do one little bit finish touch over here with the red part, just to enhance it, and I'm just about done. If you find that you've got some bare spots, you can always use your extra greens and just add the greens deep. Greens will last all winter season, but especially through the Christmas season. This is magnolia that comes from the southern part of the United States, but we use it up here in Canada because it lasts. It gives you that nice texture of the foliage. It's velvet on one side, and as you can see in the finished product, it just gives you, again, texture. Some of you do not have room for urns, so I thought maybe a nice flower box would be great for your balcony or maybe next to the house. Here's a nice box with nice Christmas greens, and this particular one, I like just to use simple items, and I was thinking of just using kale. Kale will give you, again, the rose texture. Again, I'm using it in groupings. My vocal point is where the dogwood is, so I'm going to have those things there. And I'm going to have just one in the back because somebody needs to see something in the back as well. And then I'm going to use some nice pods just to give it color. And it gives you nice texture as once again. And a little bit of magnolia gives you a nice idea. For more hints and tips, log on to pamsflowers.com.